Hi everybody, happy Thursday. Okay, today's tutorial. First of all, before I get started, I just want to thank everybody for all the notes and messages you guys sent. You guys know I've been down for about a week with a silly head cold, but I'm feeling much better, probably about 80%. So I knew it was time to get back to work in the studio. So today's tutorial is my last one for Christmas in July. And like I said, I apologize that you guys didn't get one every day, but sometimes things are just out of your control. I will be doing, though, the 12 Days of Christmas in September, and I'll post the dates of when that's going to be. So to close out Christmas in July, I'm actually going to be doing a custom order for a gal that lives here in town, and it's going to be on this sled, and this is her sled. And I went ahead and did some of the prep work because I'll be honest, it took just a little while to do some of the prep work, but I'm going to walk you through what I did. First of all, I took floral foam that you can buy at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, or anywhere, and I cut a block to fit the bottom of the sled. I'll turn a little bit more, the bottom of the sled. I took a zip tie, I took 2 zip ties, connected them, and that's what I connected the floral to, so you can probably see a little bit of that zip tie. So I took it through 2 of the ropes here, zip tied it down, and then I took a second piece of my floral foam in a circle, and I hot glued it to my first piece, and then I took some skewers, thought I had one out here, and I just ran them through about 3 or 4 places to make sure the round disc is connected to the bottom one. And then I took our adorable little snowman here, and I hot glued the bottom and just stuck him on, and he's been sitting here for about 30 minutes or so. I wanted to make sure it's nice and dry. I don't have to ship this in a box, and that's why I feel comfortable just hot gluing the snowman to the floral foam. So what we're going to do is we're just going to fill it with some soft greenery, a little bit of flocked greenery, maybe a few snowflakes, a soft bow possibly, but we're just going to kind of fill it nice and full, but not overfill it. I want it to kind of have a little bit of an outdoorsy feel to it because of the sleigh. And the sleigh's got a little bit of shimmer in it, so we're going to bring in a little bit of the shimmer, and of course our snowman does too. Okay, when I glued in the snowman, you'll notice that the snowman is not facing straight. I'm designing this so when she displays it, I'm hoping she could display it this way, at an angle. I like to do them at an angle because then you see the beauty of the sleigh. You see all the different curls and twirls and things like that. If you design it straight on, I think it kind of takes away from the charm of the sleigh. So this is how we're going to do it. I'm not gluing anything to the sled. I'm keeping that zip tied in. So this way, if she ever wants to change it out, all she'll have to do is cut that bottom zip tie, and this will all lift out. So once again, nothing is going to be glued to the sleigh. So let's go ahead. I've got enough stuff out here to probably do about 10, but I wasn't sure what I was going to use. So I'm going to start with just some really soft long needle pine first. So I am going to hot glue some of it to my styrofoam or my floral foam, but not to the actual sleigh. So I'm going to start with my long piece first, and I'm going to bring it up behind. And I did put some moss on top of the styrofoam. Let's see if I can get that in there so it's sticking. And then I'm going to take another small piece. And I'll just kind of keep showing you what I'm doing. So we're just kind of filling in around our snowman. And guys, you can use any greenery you have. I can't even tell you where I got all of this greenery. I'm going to cut this big long pine cone off. But I'm sure some of it came from Michael's, some of it Hobby Lobby. And I'm keeping it kind of open, wild here a little bit. I don't want everything all compact down in. Let's add a little bit of greenery in the front here, some shorter pieces. I can't believe July's gone already. It seems like it flew by. My grandkids go back to school, and I think in about 2 weeks, that doesn't seem possible. Okay, we're just adding some in front here. I don't know where she got her sleigh from. And I think she's had it for a while. Okay, I'm going to bend this back because I want it to lay forward, but I want to glue it into the styrofoam. Okay, see how the evergreen is just, the pine's just kind of coming out all over. So that would be our first layer. Then I'm going to add, I think, some pieces of this flocked. So I'm just going to cut this branch apart. I want to bring in some of the flock to give it a snowy effect. So see how that kind of brings in, ties in with our snow on the snowman, and just kind of brings in that wintry feeling to it. Let's add a little twig, because you all know I love twigs. Cut up some more of this flocking. Okay, all these pine cones I'm cutting off. I may use some of them, or I may just wait, but I'm not throwing these away because I'll use those in different designs, different centerpieces and things. Okay, so you can see, all I'm doing is just kind of filling it out around, going all the way around the snowman. I put a long twig coming up the back here. And I'm gonna put a few pieces, and I'm gonna kind of tuck them down in here because I want the front of the sleigh to be nice and full. So this is how it would be displayed. Okay, I'm going to bring a few pieces out to come outside the sleigh because I don't want it all to be just flat, full up here and then flat. So I'm going to bring a few pieces out. I love snowmen. I'd kind of like to have this for my own table. Okay, let's put those pine cones off to the side. Okay, I'm going to take just a few pieces that are shorter on this one to kind of fill in at a lower in the front and the side here. Let's just kind of see how it's looking. I don't want to get it too full, but I like having different kinds of pine or evergreen in a design. And this will be a design that she'll be able to keep out all through the winter months, January, February, really clear through to Valentine's Day. So I'm just filling in nice and full. And you can make yours as full as you want. If you don't want yours as full, you can stop at any time. But this little guy is going to look like he's out in the woods. But we are getting close to being done. Here's what he looks like so far. Okay. I am going to put in one or two of the pretty pine cones. And I'm just going to glue them to one of the stems. But I don't want to cover up, which you can't see it, but when you look it down or look at the centerpiece, you can't. But I don't want to cover up the little disc that has the piece on it. So when you've got the centerpiece turned to where it's going to be displayed, you have a really pretty view of that. I've got a hole right back here I want to fill. Okay, I think I've got them about as full as I want for the evergreen. I just want to play around just a little bit because you know how I like to have different dimensions in a design. I just want to see what it would look like if I added a few of these, and we're going to. Just a couple. Just going to tuck a few pieces in. You could add snowballs or whatever you'd like in here for different designs. You could have done this in a Christmassy, in reds and greens. I just kind of liked the snowman with the greens and the whites. Okay, so all I did was add a few pieces of the fern, just a couple of little ones throughout to give it a little bit more dimension. And I am going to put one right back here in the back because I've got a hole back here coming up the back of the sleigh. That really wouldn't show that much, except for if it's going to be displayed where people walk all the way around it, I want the back to be pretty also. Okay, I have some ribbon out that I might add just a little bow here on the side. So let's just make a small bow and see what we think. And I'm using the ribbon that looks like birch. And it came from Craft Outlet. I think actually I may put the bow over here on the side. So let me get one of my sticks real quick. And a zip tie. And I think I'm going to add a little green velvet in the center of our bow. I just made a simple 2-loop bow. I don't like the green. We're going to take the green back out, but we're going to leave. Yep, we're just going to use the ribbon that's got, looks like the birch. The green is too far off from the green on his sweater. So let me move this over. Now you could use a much smaller zip tie, but I don't have any close by me real quick. I'm going to take one of my stems, and I'm going to do the old bend like a hook. That's going to go underneath my bow for my zip tie. And I'm going to go ahead and dovetail that better. I'm going to take it straight down in the styrofoam. I'm making my loops smaller. I didn't like it that big. I want the bow just to be an accent and not a main focal point to it. Going even smaller. Okay, let's think. Third time's going to be a charm. Oh yeah, much, much, much better. Okay, let's turn her around. See what we've got. And that's what she's looking like so far. And I know I need to add a piece. I can already tell over right here. I need to add a piece of greenery right there. But the greenery I want, I don't have at my disposal here. Okay, I'm going to get another piece after the tutorial of the long needle pine, and I'm going to put a piece right here kind of coming out because I have a beautiful piece coming out on this side, but if you'll notice, this side doesn't really match. This side looks a little bit fuller. So I'm going to scoot her up so you can see. I think Terry is really going to like it. She likes the outdoors. She has a beautiful home, and her yard is unbelievable. So that's why I kind of wanted to make this an outdoorsy theme for her. And there it is. There is your last Christmas. I want you guys to see the peace sign. It's really cute. Christmas in July design. So I hope you've enjoyed some of the tutorials I've done for you guys. Got some great ideas for your home, for your own decorating. And then next week we will be jumping right into Halloween and fall and a lot more Christmas. So if there's anything you need or anything I can help you with, just drop me a note. I'll be glad to help you. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.